Servus from the Pain Cave and welcome back to the channel. Today we are taking on another endurance monster on Zwift, the Pretzel route in Watopia, 73 kilometers, around 1,400 meters of elevation, featuring 2 times Epic KOM, Radio Tower and 2 times Zwift KOM. So yeah, this is not your average race, this is a proper test of endurance, pacing and also mental strength. I'm lining up once again with the A-PEX VELO squad alongside Carsten, Jazz, Henry and Chris. We are ready for a long day in the saddle. And the field absolutely stacked. A few elite riders including the Aussie Freddy Ovett joined last second, so they are not included in this start list. Alright, we are off, and as you can see in the top right profile, it won't take long for us to take on the first proper climb of the day, the Epic KOM and the Radio Tower right after. I didn't do a long warm-up because normally these endurance races start with a steady pace, you have a few attacks, but everything stays together for a while, as in last week's epic race that I covered. But yeah, with these top-tier riders joining last minute, this plan might be screwed. So we are approaching here the first climb of the day, the Epic KOM, 9.4 kilometers at an average of 4%. Roughly about 20 minutes, and yeah, you can see we start off really hot here at 7 watts per kilo. The front is pushing it really hard. I'm trying to stay there with the front. Heart rate is already getting close to 180 beats per minute, and yeah, I'm on my limit here. Just 7.5 minutes into this race, and yeah, the field is already strung out. Lots of splits are already happening. Henry is trying to chase here in the back. Also, a few guys of us, they have a gap here with a few seconds. I'm still here at the front. Jazz is here, Carsten is here. Another few attacks at the front. We are still pushing 8 watts per kilo. So first 9 minutes at an average of 4.4 watts per kilo almost. And yeah, this is just absolutely insane so far. Pace is really crazy. Heart rate is in the 180s at this moment, and they still keep on pushing at the front. Probably it's not even that hard for them, but I was absolutely cooked there in the back, just trying to hold on to this group here that I'm into. This is kind of fighting for 10th place. Carsten is here. Chris got a gap of 2 seconds ahead of us, and yeah, the first strongest guys, they are already gone here, including Freddy Ovett. So it's cool to see him in this race, but unfortunately we didn't get to race alongside him for too long because they were just too strong and yeah, doing their own thing. I'm struggling here really hard. Heart rate is at 180. Carsten just lost touch to the group. He had a rough day the day before with lots of training, so he was not really fresh. But we are trying to stay here in this group, the other 4 of us. At this moment we are still there, all of us, and yeah, I'm on the limit here, still fighting here. 6 watts per kilo, 4 watts per kilo, so it's really not slowing down. Average is at 4.6 watts per kilo, 18 minutes 40 seconds into the race. So that's like a proper set racing prime time advanced field and race, because these guys are just pushing it. And yeah, we are reaching the top here, not the complete top, like there's still a few kicks coming right after the real climb, and then we reach the top. But this will be a fast time, I can tell you, and I'm struggling here to hold their wheels here. Heart rate is still at 170 beats per minute, despite we have already done the climb here. And I'm in this group of 7 or 8 guys, I believe, and yeah, we are still 4 of us here in that group. And yeah, I guess everyone is struggling here because that pace at the front was just absolutely relentless. All right, we are reaching that last bit of the Epic KOM before we reach the banner on top. And yeah, this is where I start to struggle again, because these guys are just pushing it like crazy. Heart rate is at 184 beats per minute. I'm pushing 5 watts per kilo, 18 minutes 57 seconds. That's a blustering PB for me, beating my old PB by like 2 or 3 minutes. 298 watts for 20 minutes. So again, like that could be a sad racing advanced primetime field. And now I start to struggle. We are reaching the Radio Tower, 1.1 kilometers at 13.7%, and this is where I crack. Like it was not possible for me anymore. Like again, like we have an endurance race of 2 hours, and yeah, this was just like a short race. And yeah, then I had some power drop out here. That was weird. Lost all the momentum trying to chase Jazz here. And yeah, unfortunately, the group is gone here at this moment. There was no chance for me to hang on to these guys because they're still, I mean, you see the profile on the top right, there's still so much more to come. So we were just hoping that we stick together and then hopefully, yeah, make up some time. 5 minutes 14 for me on the radio tower climb, 290 watts still. So that was still a good effort after all. Yeah, I also had some resistance problems. So I decided in the downhill to reconnect my trainer. Then things were better and we've reached 100 kilometers per hour. You see, I'm really excited. I tried to reach that badge for a few times already, pushing like crazy myself on the downhill of Alp to Zwift or also the Vent Top, but I could never get to 100 kilometers per hour. So I was really stoked to have reached that badge here with my teammates. So Chris is also in our group now. As you can see, we got 20 seconds to the guys ahead of us and around 25 seconds to Rasmus, who is chasing us. A pity that he couldn't close down the gap here and be with us because he would have been a strong addition here as well. Yeah, pulling at the front. And you could see probably, I mean, it was speed up here and accelerated, but we were taking nice turns at the front here at 5 watts per kilo. Once we also reached Henry and the Japanese Sato, things got a bit more complicated because then we were all not on Discord, and yeah, we couldn't really have these like clean TTT efforts at the front. So Hilly KOM Reverse, 2.5 kilometers at 2%, 4 minutes, 11 seconds, 266 watts for me. So roughly around like, yeah, 4.1, 4.2 watts per kilo. And yeah, I'm taking a bite here, taking a snack here in between. 50 minutes into the race, we are still at 4.2 watts per kilo. And yeah, it was just absolutely tough. And I could definitely feel my legs after these first like 30 to 40 minutes with the Epic KOM and radio tower. And I didn't feel so fresh anymore. It's still cool that all of us 4 are here in that group. Carsten is chasing us in the next group. They're right now 2 minutes 50 behind us. And yeah, we are just trying to do our best here. Then I had some internet issues, so this race was really rigged here a bit. Unfortunately, it was good after that, but yeah, it was probably because I had like some guests in our apartment, and yeah, we were more than normal using the internet. So thankfully, it was just a short connection issue. All right, Hilly KOM, 900 meters, 5.5% gradient. We're losing Jess here at this moment and decide like to regroup on top. 2 minutes 18, so not really the fastest pace for the Hilly KOM, but I mean, we were all struggling here at this moment. At least I was, Jess was, Chris was also not on his very best that day. Henry was super strong. He is always very strong in endurance races. And yeah, we were just trying to hang on here and do our best because there's still a lot to come. Epic KOM Reverse is the next and final climb, 6.2 kilometers at an average of 6%. And yeah, after 1 hour, 15 minutes at 4 watts per kilo, this was just insane. And my legs hurt like hell. I couldn't really get my heart rate up so much anymore. It was really a struggle. And yeah, I knew like I will not be able to hold those guys' wheels. Like I knew like Henry is a lot stronger on that day. Also Sato seemed super strong, the Japanese guy. Chris normally is also like definitely a lot stronger than me on the climbs. Chess already has a gap of 10 seconds. I'm still trying to hold on to these guys here. Heart rate is back to 180 beats per minute, pushing 5 watts per kilo here to try to stay in the draft of the guys. I kind of like this Epic KOM Reverse direction because you have that, like, it's not really steady. You have steep parts, then you have a short moment to recover. I feel like that's what fits me or suits me very well. But again, like my legs were just cooked, and yeah, at this moment I cracked and I had no chance to follow these guys. It was over for me. I couldn't follow them. And yeah, Chris wanted to wait for me, but I just told him like, no, go. I'm just cooked. I will wait for Jess. He's 20 seconds behind me. And then we will, yeah, do a TTT to the line and make sure that the chasing group will not be able to close down the gap to us. You see, Rasmus is chasing us. He is down to 1 minute, 10 seconds. So they made up a lot of time on that climb. Carsten is in that chasing group here with 1 minute 35 seconds. And yeah, this is just super tough here. I'm trying to motivate Jess to push it to the top of the climb. Chris unfortunately couldn't hold the wheel of Henry and Sato, so he also decided to wait right after on the top of the climb. So we did that climb in 19 minutes 5 seconds, an average of 253 watts. and an average of 164 beats per minute. It's a new PB for me, but I didn't really do that full climb from the really bottom so many times, especially not in a race. Can't really remember when was the last time. It must have been like a long time ago. All right, so 17 kilometers to go. Rasmus is pushing it behind, so we gotta make sure to keep him, keep the gap at a steady, keep the gap steady and make sure to keep our positions here. Carsten is 1 minute 43, 42 behind. And yeah, Chris is waiting for us here. We are pushing here at the front. We're trying to keep the pace up. And at this moment, we're catching Chris. And yeah, to make sure to stay together here. Henry is still fighting with Sato ahead of us. 1 minute 40 seconds ahead of us. And yeah, we are just making sure to get to the line safely. And then I'm checking what is happening at the front. We can see here Freddy Ovett sprinting for second place against Rob. And it seems he will be able to take second place, and he will also be able to take the KOM for the Strava segment. So chapeau to him. Cool racing him, and I mean incredible. You can see we still had like more than 7 kilometers to go when they were already in the finish. So that's like a huge gap. And yeah, we were still like, at least I still gave it my everything, and I was absolutely cooked right after the race ended, and there was nothing left in my legs. But still 3 kilometers to go. Chaz was struggling here at that moment. We had to motivate him to keep going. He always told us like, no, he will let go. And we were like, no, if he lets us go, like probably Rasmus will be catching him, because he's down to 50 seconds. He's also putting in a great effort here alone against us three. So chapeau to him. And yeah, then we see Henry here fighting against Sato for 10th place. Unfortunately, Sato is having the better sprint. Both of these guys had an incredible sprint after these like almost 2 hours of racing. And yeah, it's the three of us reaching the finish line here. No sprint. I mean, that's like, yeah, we took the position we were kind of supposed to be. So Chris was definitely stronger waiting for us. So that was all right. And then we still got the sprint for P16, and that's Carsten here. He recovered really well. Like, he also went way too deep in that first part, and he decided to just take it a bit more easy. But then he did a great race, and here taking home 16th place. So we end up all together between P11 and P16, only Rasmus splitting us. It was a super tough race, 4 watts per kilo for almost 2 hours. Normalized power was even at 4.2 watts per kilo. So these elite riders at the front just absolutely smashed it from the beginning. I definitely went in way too hot trying to hold on to the front. I told you that was advanced category primetime numbers in the first 30 minutes. I could hardly recover from that, and when we hit the Epic KOM in reverse, my legs were just empty. 10 minutes at 5 watts per kilo, absolutely insane for me for an endurance race of 2 hours. I was really feeling that race for the rest of the day, I can tell you. And I showed you that Freddy Ovett took the KOM for the entire route. I still got the 229th best time out of more than 10,000 Zwifters who completed the route in a race. I take that. Alright, that was the Pretzel. What a tough one. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe and drop a comment below. It really supports the channel, and I'm curious, what's the hardest race you have ever done? See you in the next one. Cheers and ride on.
Remember to subscribe.